¿Qué tal, gamers? Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches, a donde quiera que estén y donde quiera que se encuentren. Aquí de nuevo su amigo Nicho con una entrevista exclusiva al campeón mundial de HeroClix 2025, Joseph Coleman Harrison. Entonces, sin más que decir y sin más que hacer, ¿qué les parece si nos vamos ya directamente a la entrevista? Hey, Joseph, how are you, man?
Doing good, Dionisio. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I am good also. Thank you for asking. I missed this Worlds this year, but next year I will be there for sure because, well, family and stuff, and I couldn't say hi. But congratulations on your big win.
Thank you, sir. Really excited.
All right. So, ok, entonces, Joseph prácticamente es el campeón del Mundial de HeroClix. Y una de las cosas que lo caracteriza es que este año ha ganado prácticamente todos los eventos grandes. Ganó Champion Clicks, ganó el Nacional y ganó el Mundial. Joseph, I'm telling people that are watching us right now that you're basically being undefeated, in Champion Clicks first, and then Champion Clicks in March, then Nationals in June, and now Worlds. So that is a very, very big thing. So for those who might not know you, how would you introduce yourself to the HeroClix community? How did you get started playing? Le estoy preguntando a Joseph que para los que no lo conozcan a él, cómo él se va a introducir a la comunidad de HeroClix y cómo inició a jugar.
Well, I started playing HeroClix when I was about 12 years old. My older cousin, he came home from the comic book shop one day and had some little pieces from, I want to say it was like the Avengers movie set.
Yep.
And
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he took us to the shop a couple days later, and the first pack I pulled the Odin chase, the Anthony Hopkins from the movie set, and just been in love with it ever since, man. So, and I just got into competitive about a year and a half ago.
Está comentando Joseph que inició jugando a los 12 años en una tienda de cómics. Who was it that introduced you to the game?
It was my older cousin.
Ok, su primo le introdujo al juego y su primer set fue la película de Vengadores en 2012. Creo que fue en 2012 y que abrió la Chase de Odin, y a partir de ese entonces pues ha estado enamorado del juego, y en la escena competitiva inició hace año y medio aproximadamente. Entonces está muy cañón. All right, so when this season started, did you imagine it would end this way? Winning everything. Le estoy preguntando que si cuando inició esta temporada, que si se imaginó que acabaría de esta forma, ¿no? Ganando prácticamente todo.
Not at all, man. My first 5 or 6 months in competitive last year kind of got off to a little bit of a rough start a little bit. I had some good performances. I played at the Rock Cup. That was actually my first competitive event last year.
Okay.
Rock Cup, and then my buddy Dylan Cassabaum, who won Worlds last year, he's from North Carolina as well, just like I am, and he convinced me kind of last minute to go to Champion Clicks, and I was a big believer in Ghost Rider, even though I'd never really had a really good performance with him, but I just kept believing in the piece, and it took in.
Okay. Básicamente está diciendo que no se imaginaba ganar absolutamente todo, que apenas el año pasado Dylan Kassenbaum, que fue el ganador del Mundial pasado, le dijo, por favor, a ver, entra al rock del año pasado, entra al rock, y entonces en el rock fue en donde él inició su escena competitiva. Dylan ganó el año pasado y ha estado, él es un firme creyente en la pieza de Ghost Rider Super Raro, el que no te permite, bueno, ahorita vamos a ver. Out of the 3 major tournaments, which one felt the toughest, mentally or emotionally? Le estoy preguntando que de los 3 torneos grandes de Champion Clicks, el Nacional o el Mundial, ¿cuál se sintió el más duro mental o emocionalmente?
I think the toughest one for me emotionally and mentally was probably Nationals, U.S. Nationals. my final match was against Isaac Berkovitz, who's, probably the best player of all time.
Yeah.
And just that entire weekend, I was just, for whatever reason, I was getting a lot less rest from night to night. I was just kind of taxing on me. But the hardest one in terms of competition would definitely have to be Worlds.
Está diciendo que el que más le costó trabajo hasta el momento y que también en ese torneo y especialmente en Rock ganaron también el premio de equipos. Entonces como que fue una situación muy, muy estresante para él. Y pero que el que más duro fue competitivo fue el Mundial, ¿no? All right, so winning all 3 events in a year, well, takes more than skill, right? Takes preparation. What do you think changed for you there to previous seasons?
Definitely my practice in terms of playing online. So me and Dylan Cassabaum, like I mentioned earlier, we became really good friends over the past year. And we started playing on Roll20 a lot online, and he's got a couple of friends as well that I play with on Roll20. And then after ChampionClix, the first big look at the meta, and you're never going to build a HeroClix team that answers all of the top teams, but you need to have a team that covers most of the meta, and even in some of the matchups that are a little bit hard for your team, you need to at least have a fighting chance, I would say. I like building my own teams, but I do, if I see like a really good idea, for instance, like my team that I was doing so well with this year, my good friend Ricky, he had done well in a tournament with a similar team, except instead of Ghost Rider, he had the Juggernaut from Collector's Trophy.
From Collector's Trophy, yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of which figure?
Yeah, and it was a very similar team, except his was a lot more aggressive.
Okay.
The Ghost Rider version just adds a lot of defensive capability to it.
Prácticamente está comentando que en el meta competitivo, pues obviamente tienes que ver con lo que estás jugando, tienes que ver que te guste. Él, por ejemplo, eligió a Ghost Rider, pero otra persona, su amigo Ricky, tenía al Juggernaut superado de Collectors, que también era un equipo muy agresivo, pero que normalmente es lo que a él le gusta jugar, y a él le gustaba lo de el Ghost Rider. So Joe, we have here some comments. People that are saying hello to you. Axel, Alexis. We have Gibran, who also is saying hi. The Mexican community is here, and they're saying hi to you. So,
hola.
All right. Do you practice more online or mostly in person? Le estoy preguntando si practica más en línea o más que nada en persona.
I would say due to kind of my living circumstance, I practice mostly online.
Okay.
For in-person practice, I think it gives you a lot better feel for your team when you're actually practicing it physically with the pieces. At least for me, it does. But I do think online practice has a lot of utility to it. For nationals, actually, we hadn't seen Spirit of Vengeance in the meta, in 300 modern meta, but I was familiar with the piece, and I knew a lot of people were going to be running it, so I knew that I had to be ready for the matchup when it came to nationals, and so I boarded it against myself. I put some teams that I had seen people run with Spirit of Vengeance and played it. Actually, just played a game with myself, and boarded it like that physically, so I just kind of mentally focus on the game better when I actually am holding the pieces, honestly.
Okay. Pues, está comentando Joseph que él practica en línea, obviamente para algunos matches, pero que cuando quiere practicar bien sus equipos, entonces ya lo hace de forma física para que pueda sentir muy bien los equipos. Para el Nacional, por ejemplo, se preparó en línea en contra de equipos que se estaban jugando, porque Spirit of Vengeance iba a ser una figura muy común en el meta del Nacional. Richie Elizondo, amazing player and one of the best people you will ever meet.
What's up, Richie? Good to hear from you, man.
All right. Kahumbo is asking, if you practice more online, what type of platform? Is it Roll20 or where do you play online?
It's Roll20. Yep, Roll20 is the platform we use.
Practica en Roll20. Where do you practice at? Tried Tabletop Sim, but found it cluttered. It says Aries. So Roll20 is one of the best.
Yes, it's worked very well. I actually haven't got the chance to try any of the other platforms. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you have a practice group or teammates helping you prepare for these events? You mentioned Dylan and you mentioned Ricky, right?
Yeah. So the team that we formed, we actually made a team after nationals, the syndicate, and it has John Michael DiGiulio, the guy
Yes.
that I played in the finals against.
Yeah, the runner-up, the finalist.
Yep. Nick Madison, the guy who came in second at Worlds last year, two Prignanos, Ricky Prignano and his son Logan. Jacob Bishop is a North Carolina player. He's like a 3-time state champion. Dylan Cassabaum, he's on there. Kenny Minks, Steve Bambero. So we got nine teammates in all, and then I have some other friends outside of my team that I practice with as well.
Le estoy preguntando que si tiene un grupo de práctica o algunos de equipo que les ayude a preparar estos eventos, y está comentando que sí, que después de nacionales formaron un grupo llamado El Sindicato, el cual es Dylan Kassenbaum, o sea, pura gente top nivel allá en Estados Unidos de juego, ¿no? How do you stay calm under pressure, especially when you're deep in a winning streak? Le estoy preguntando que cómo está calmado bajo presión, especialmente cuando está ya en un streak así ganador, porque, by the way, right now, you are 30-0. Ahorita él está 30-0 entre Champion Clicks nacionales y mundial. He went on a winning streak, 30-0. Stay calm under all that pressure.
Man, honestly, that's one thing I struggled with last year when I was first getting on the competitive scene was staying calm in the big moments. I would make top cut at an event, but I would lose out in the top cut a lot of times, like the first round. And honestly, man, I think that you just kind of have to slow down, take a breath in your matches, I would say one thing.
Frustrarse porque hay muchísimas veces que tiras los dados y obviamente no. All right, good. Sorry about that. Okay, so sorry. Whew. So let's talk about Worlds, the big one. All right, how was the overall experience this year? What was the atmosphere like? And why am I asking you this? Because, as you know, there are Mexicans that go. I mean, people from around the world go to this event, right? And it's Worlds. So we have people from the Philippines that have gone there. Obviously, from Canada, from Mexico, Italy, also. So part of why I'm asking you this, of your overall experience this year, the atmosphere and the organization, is that I want more Mexican players to go, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, this year there were 6 Mexican players, as far as I know, that went to Worlds, but I would love that number to grow. And I also know that not many Canadians could make it to Worlds this year. But what was your experience? What was the atmosphere? I want you to tell everyone who's watching right now and who's going to watch this video later, what was your experience this year like in difference to other years?
So this was only my second Worlds that I've been to. I think that both the years that I've been to Worlds, it was just the atmosphere is just electric, man. It's really cool meeting a lot of new people, whether you're just going to be playing BRs a lot, you'll meet a lot of great people and awesome players. The organization was a lot better this year, using HD units to organize the rounds. So it was a lot more smooth. I think at Worlds, especially at Worlds, but at a lot of big tournaments, but definitely at Worlds, it's just awesome being there with all the best players in the world because um, typically the best players in the game are the best at showing honor and sportsmanship and showing grace in the games, just so it's an enjoyable experience for everyone. I think that everyone plays their best HeroClix when you're having a good time and when you're having fun. And I played against multiple world champions at Worlds this year, and just amazing players, the best in the world. And it really is the higher level that you're playing at, and the better players that you're playing with. It's more of an enjoyable experience because they really do show a lot of integrity and honor in the way that they play.
Bueno, le pregunté que cuál era su experiencia este año en el Mundial, que cómo estaba la atmósfera, más que nada porque pues, obviamente me encantaría que que todos los que nos ven por nuestro canal, pues obviamente tengan esa oportunidad de ir al Mundial. Y me está comentando que es una experiencia eléctrica. Este es el segundo Mundial al que Joseph va. Entonces, que es un gran honor y es un gran placer jugar con todos los jugadores, los mejores jugadores del mundo, ya sea para jugar Battle Royale o para jugar competitivo. Es como el mejor lugar para hacerlo y obviamente hay un sentimiento del espíritu del juego, del sportsmanship, muy bueno que no se tiene en ningún otro lugar, ¿no? Entonces, obviamente, si vas a estos eventos, como que el mundial es lo mejor de lo mejor y lo más padre, y además es donde pues tienes todo. So, um, any match or opponent that really stood out for you? Because I mean, I know you went 30-0, but was there that match where you thought this is it? I'm not gonna make it. Le estoy preguntando que si hay alguna partida u oponente que le haya llamado la atención en el momento de decir, ¿sabes qué? Aquí ya acabé, ya no voy a. Ya acabó mi streak ganador.
Um, so I would say, are you talking about just in the World's
Well,
Championship?
any match really. I mean, Champion Clicks, Nationals, Worlds, any match that really stood out, and maybe a close match or.
I would say, I would say at Nationals against Isaac in the championship, I was very confident going into that game, but I was very confident that I had a good matchup. I trusted my team could handle his team,
Mhm.
but the best player ever probably. So that was one I was taking very seriously for sure. At Eric Sexton, he was playing a very similar version to my team, except he didn't have Chair Panther. He had Death Metal Wonder Woman.
Okay.
That was an extremely close game, and your opponent is an amazing player, and you both pretty much have a very similar team. It's going to be so dice dependent if both players are playing good, and so that was a very close match. And then in top 8 against Azareth, Strife an excellent player, one of the best in the world. We actually had a very intense game, and it was actually we got in a lot of attacks and a lot of we
8. Oh my
in top,
goodness. That's okay. Okay.
yeah, a whole streak could have been that was my only roll off, and that
Okay.
was definitely the closest game in the 30 games, and we both rolled a 10 on the first roll off. We tied, and and he rolled a 7, and then I rolled a 10 on the next one. So
Ok. Le pregunté bueno, le pregunté que si había algún match o algún oponente y está diciendo que en 3 ocasiones, en Isaac, obviamente en la final del Nacional de HeroClix de Estados Unidos, pues obviamente es Isaac, que es el mejor jugador del mundo prácticamente, entonces fue un match, y luego hubo un segundo match en donde prácticamente era un mirror match en contra, la única diferencia era una Wonder Woman de sierra, pero el match que más destacó fue en el top 8 del mundial jugando contra Acereth Strife, en donde prácticamente estuvieron atacando, pero nadie se hacía daño. Right?
yeah, you definitely have to have things going your way. I mean, that was
Exactly.
just the role is completely out of your hands at that point. You just have to be at peace with the result.
Exactly. So, how did it feel when you actually did it? How did you feel when you were the new world champion? Le estoy preguntando que cómo se sintió cuando ya ganó por fin.
Honestly, man, it was surreal in more ways than one. John Michael has become like a really good friend of mine. We got really close at nationals because we were staying in the same hotel together, and we had just met at Rock Cup this year. And then going into top 16 on Sunday, me and John Michael we were driving to the venue together, and he was on the other side of the bracket, so we knew there was a possibility if both of us just won our games that we would meet up in the final match, and just being there playing against one of your friends who was also undefeated
Exactly.
in the tournament, being there with a great guy. We were so happy for one another even before the match started, because even if John Michael would have won the game, and he very well could have if the roles would have gone his way, I was going to be so happy for him either way. But being able to win the world championship in a game that you've been playing over half of your life, it's surreal, man. It really does feel like a dream come true.
Está comentando obviamente que ganar el Mundial fue obviamente como un sueño hecho realidad, especialmente cuando has estado jugando la mitad de tu vida este juego que obviamente que te gusta mucho, entonces se sintió como una experiencia irreal, se sintió como una experiencia padrísima. En especial porque jugó la final con una persona con la que se ha acercado mucho y ha sido muy buen amigo suyo desde el año pasado que se conocieron en el Rock Cup, John Michael DiGiulio, que fue segundo lugar, de hecho, en el Mundial. Entonces, jugar con él, o sea, se quedaron en el mismo hotel, estuvieron practicando con esos equipos, y cuando vieron que estaban en los lados opuestos del bracket para llegar a la final, sí había una posibilidad muy grande de que pudieran los dos llegar a la final. Eso pasó, jugaron, y entonces obviamente pudo haber ido de cualquier forma, pudo haber ganado, o sea, ganó Joseph, o pudo haber triunfado John Michael, ¿no? Entonces fue una cuestión ahí muy interesante, pero obviamente que se siente una cuestión irreal. Now, let's talk about your team, because that lineup was practically dominant, especially with Ghost Rider and Colossus, right? So most of your team is going to go to silver now. It's rotated, right? So you ran, I did almost the count, you ran 11 game elements on your main force, right? And of those, 7 are practically going to go to silver now. They have rotated. So, le estoy preguntando que si no, nos puede decir cómo fue estructurado su equipo, porque prácticamente ya la mitad de las figuras ya prácticamente van para silver. ¿Y qué es lo que lo hizo tan fuerte en el meta moderno de 2025?
I think that Ghost Rider himself just has Colossus is an amazing piece and one of the best,
Yeah.
one of the best that we've ever seen, honestly, in terms of just power level. But I think especially paired with Ghost Rider, it takes it up to the next level, because Ghost Rider protects him from power cancellation, from Pulse Wave, from Mind Gem, Trick Arrows, Pegasus Captain America. Yeah, there's just so many things that are in the meta that get through powers, and when you have a piece like Ghost Rider protecting your main attacker, it really puts a lot of the attention on Ghost Rider himself.
Right.
And then with Kevin in the back.
Yeah, I was thinking about how Lucas mentioned that every time he was, I think that this was at Nationals, he was a judge there, Lucas Van Hollen. But it's not that easy hitting Ghost Rider, because you've got shape change. No era imposible, pero tampoco era un equipo muy fácil para matar. Entonces es lo que lo hacía muy fuerte. Did you change anything between Champion Clicks, Nationals, and Worlds, or was it mostly the same? Le estoy preguntando que si cambió algo entre Champion Clicks Nacional y el Mundial, o que si prácticamente fue lo mismo.
I would say it was around 95% the same. So the only change from Champion Clicks to Nationals was the Destroyer armor came out in between them. So I'd switched the Destroyer armor for the motorcycle that was on Colossus, and then after Nationals, Rivalry and the Traffic Barrel got banned. So that was 10 extra points that I had to work with going into Worlds. So I put the Mind Gem where the Rivalry was on the sideline, and then I didn't have the Traffic Barrel anymore, so I put the Heart Shaped Herb on the sideline or on the objects.
Yeah, on the turning markers. Ok, me está comentando que prácticamente hubo muy pocos cambios. Uno de los cambios fue que salió la Destroyer Armor, entonces quitó la motocicleta que estaba en Coloso y le puso Destroyer Armor. Y Rivalry y Traffic Barrel, que los usó al principio en Champion Clicks, también fueron baneados para el Nacional, creo, para el Mundial. Entonces, en lugar de Rivalry puso, you said Mind Gem for Rivalry, right?
Yeah, so I lost Rivalry and the Traffic Barrel 10 points. So
okay. Exacto, entonces perdió Rivalry y perdió el Traffic Barrel en puntos, pero lo sustituyó con la Mind Gem y con el Heart Shape Hurt para tener curación constante. Was there a figure that surprised you, something people underestimated but turned out key for your success? And I'm guessing that figure is Ghost Rider. Le estoy preguntando si hubo alguna figura que lo sorprendió, algo que la gente haya subestimado, pero que haya sido clave para su éxito.
Yeah, I think that everyone knows how good Colossus is, obviously, but it would have to be Ghost Rider. I think a lot of people underestimate him as an offensive piece. They just look at him as something to protect your team with. But if you have Cathan, giving him the +1 stats, like I did on my team, and then with the Scarlet Witch pilot, he gets the penetrating blast on his hypersonic speed. And then even with Kevin, you can switch to either Empower or Enhancement. A lot of the times he's hitting for 6 damage penetrating, so he's very good at taking out like 50-point Kongs. And just having that the double target penetrating blast on the hypersonics is really good. And just him with the Crimson Gem, having the super strength with the elevated, being able to
right.
Yeah, with speed you can drop elevated and pick it back up in the same turn, and you can knock back 2 targets into walls to get extra damage. And he's a lot more of an offensive piece than people think he is.
Está hablando que Coloso fue como esa pieza clave, ¿no? Que obviamente con la Destroyer Armor se vuelve una figura mucho más ofensiva de lo que realmente es, y prácticamente eso fue lo que le dio el éxito, ¿no? Coloso fue una pieza clave, y bueno. Yeah, so yeah, Colossus is a very good piece, especially, yeah, that's why, and especially with the Destroyer Armor. That was oof. Do you think that your team concept would work in silver, or was it just a modern only build?
I think it would definitely work in silver. There might be certain things that I change about it. You can play. I think Theme Team is a lot bigger in Silver Age just because of the Scott Porter. Getting all the bonuses from the Scott Porters in Silver Age is huge. But you can play non-theme in Silver and still have a lot of success. But I'm not. You can actually Theme Team Ghost Rider and Colossus because they're both ruler keyword. And ruler is a fantastic keyword in Silver Age, so you could definitely have a lot of success with those 2 pieces together.
All right. Well, again, it's a very good team. Congratulations. I am really happy you could talk to us about this. So, all right. So, let's talk about changing subjects, about something every player dreams of: the prize for winning Worlds, designing your own figure. This is every HeroClix player's dream come true, right? Designing your own figure. What does it feel like to earn that opportunity and leave your mark on the HeroClix history? Le estoy preguntando que cómo se siente tener la oportunidad de diseñar tu propia figura y dejar tu marca en la historia de HeroClix.
I think that I think that you're exactly right. I think that's that's the top of the hill in terms of pricing, in terms of HeroClix. I think that we're all, huge fans of superheroes,
Yeah.
and if you can take I think just the thought of being able to take a superhero that you might not think has gotten the justice it deserves in terms of a piece that has been made, and we can talk about some of the options that I've talked about, but being able to take a piece that you don't think that they've done quite the justice that it deserves, and be able to customize it and really put your mark on the game, and make an iconic figure to stand out, is just such an awesome thing.
Está comentando que es una cuestión impresionante el hecho de que puedas crear obviamente tu propia figura o de que puedas agarrar una figura que tú creas que no le han hecho justicia en el juego y diseñarla a algo que sea acorde al personaje y acorde al juego para que pueda.
But powerful, like this is a character that put the Fantastic Four on his back in a lot of comics, and it would be
Porque que realmente sea como lo que debe de ser el personaje. Tenemos el Carnage Silver Surfer, pero no es un personaje, o sea, es Carnage Silver Surfer, es un personaje atacante, pero Silver Surfer también es de protección, son otras cosas de Silver Surfer que también pueden, pueden ayudar, ¿no? Al personaje. And what about a villain? What villain would you have in mind if you were to design a villain?
um so for a villain, it would be either between Doctor Doom or
Okay.
Gore the God Butcher, from the
Oh,
Mighty,
Gore. Oh,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
from the
Yes.
Mighty Thor. That's Gore is one of my favorite villains from the Thor comic series.
Uh-huh.
That was first comic books I read when I was young, and they've made him, I think, twice, and he just hasn't been. In the comics when he was fighting against Thor, he was literally just wiping the entire universe of all the
Yeah,
gods.
gods of gods,
Yeah,
which are a big deal in HeroClix.
yeah, and they haven't captured his power level. They've definitely made some good Doctor Dooms. So I'm not sure exactly what I would do in terms of Doom, but he is my favorite villain from Marvel.
All right. Okay. So quickly. All right. So Eddie is asking. Eddie Orozco is the Mexican national champion. He's been twice now, and he is asking that if there's any figure that you would rather avoid in the road during Worlds. We haven't really asked that one because he is late. He's late to the stream. But is there any figure you wanted to avoid?
Yeah. First of all, congrats on your nationals win, Eddie. Um, I would. Yeah, there was definitely some matchups that I was a little bit concerned about. First of all, would be 200 Point Kong with
Yeah,
Animal Man.
yeah,
I think he was kind of the boogeyman at Worlds this year. It was just, he doesn't really have he can't kill Ghost Rider and Colossus easily, but he can just kill my support very quickly, and kind of run away and heal the
yeah.
rest of the with Animal Man, and it's hard for me to hit his big numbers sometimes if he can get my support out of the way. Another scary piece to face was Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is really good. Um,
Prime or super rare?
the Prime,
Prime,
yeah,
Prime, Black Lantern. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
because he does kind of get around Ghost Rider's trait, because you can still use your powers, you just can't reduce damage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he's a very sort of like what Eddie played at Nationals, with the Swamp Thing Prime. You can just put a grave marker underneath, and you can really get through those reducers.
Oh, you
And
were watching. You were watching Nationals. Good. You were
yeah,
watching
yeah,
Eddie's team.
for sure, yeah.
Great.
Um, and one more would be, that I would mention, is Lobo Prime, from the Lantern Legacy set. That gives all wild cards, all the team
Oh,
advantage.
right, Global Prime. Right.
Yeah,
Lucas played that. Lucas
yeah,
played that. Yeah.
yeah. Lucas had a
Lucas Van Hollen played Lovo. I think he was one of the few people that did that.
yeah.
All right, está diciendo que hay tres figuras que tenía mucho miedo en enfrentarse. La primera era Conga 200 puntos, porque obviamente puede aniquilar a su soporte, regresarse y curar, entonces eso le da mucho pánico. Luego la segunda era Swamp Thing Prime, que también es una figura extraordinaria, es una muy buena figura. Y the third one you said Kong something and
Lobo
oh,
Prime.
yeah. Y Lobo Prime también tenía muchísimo terror de enfrentarse a Lobo Prime por su habilidad de hacer a todos los team players prácticamente todas las habilidades de equipo del juego. Eddie is saying thanks to your comment. All right, so beyond trophies and wins, all right, HeroClix is really about community, the people we meet and the friendships, right? We build, as you've clearly explained. What has this game given you over the years, both as a competitor and as a person? Le, le estoy preguntando que qué le ha dado HeroClix a través de los años, obviamente no nomás como jugador casual, sino como ya competitivo, como competencia y como persona.
Man, that's a great question. I think that if you play a competitive game like HeroClix, it's like we were talking about earlier. I think that it relates to real life in a lot of ways because if you're playing a dice game that you're passionate about, you just have to. At the end of the day, if you want to get the most out of it, you have to accept that there are just some things that are completely out of your control.
Right.
Kind of learn to roll with the punches, just like life. Circumstances are going to come up that you can't help, and you just have to be at peace with that. Along, like you said, I think it is definitely the community. I could name just countless friendships. Richie, Saul, all the players that I've mentioned. I've made so many good friends over the past year and a half, and I think HeroClix is just it's a safe space for guys to really just there are very few things that exercise my brain like HeroClix does.
Yeah.
And it allows us to just be young again and really get imaginative with our team builds, with the way that we put ourselves out on the board, playing with these superheroes. Really just, it gets my imagination going and lets my mind roam free and be a kid again,
Yeah. Le está comentando que este juego pues obviamente es un juego de comunidad que ha hecho grandes amistades y pues que este juego a muchos de nosotros pues nos encanta el juego por tirar dados, por estar jugando con tus amigos.
I think that's the coolest thing. Me and John Michael were actually watching Mexican Nationals on the live stream together, and we were, just seeing all the creative, the completely different meta in different countries is so cool because you'll see some pieces and some team compositions that you never see in America, and it's like teams are still great and could easily go to Worlds and win it all. It's really cool seeing other competitive scenes, and I think just HeroClix as a game, we would all love to see this game just grow and blow up into something a lot bigger because we know how awesome of a game it is compared to other games.
Yeah. Está comentando que él y John Michael estuvieron viendo el Nacional de México en el stream y que les gustó mucho ver la variedad que había de equipos y la creatividad que tenían los jugadores mexicanos en hacer sus equipos y estaban comentando que cuáles serían, por ejemplo, buenos equipos competitivos para ir al Mundial, ¿no? Para la escena y que espera que este juego crezca mucho más de lo que ha estado creciendo. If you could dedicate this victory to someone, who would it be? Le estoy preguntando que si podría dedicar esta victoria a alguien, ¿a quién se la dedicaría?
That's an easy one, Dionisio. I'm a faithful man, and I was raised in a Christian home, and I've loved the Lord my whole life, man. I wear this bracelet on. It says Jesus is Lord.
Okay.
And like we were talking about earlier, there are some things in life and that are completely out of your control, and there are things on the HeroClix table that are completely out of your control too. And I would be nothing in life without Jesus Christ, and it's the same thing in HeroClix, man. Okay. Nothing.
Pues obviamente está comentando que él es una persona que ha sido, que creció en un hogar cristiano, entonces esta victoria se le está dedicando a Jesús Cristo. Finally, where can people follow you? Do you have a social media, Discord, anywhere you like to hang out online?
Yeah, Man, I love talking HeroClix with anyone. It doesn't matter who it is, a stranger, friend, anybody, man. I can talk strategies, team builds. Joseph Coleman Harrison on Facebook. You can just direct message me, man, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you like I've known you my whole life about HeroClix or anything, man. I do have a Discord as well. If you want to meet up and play on Roll20 and practice, I'd be more than happy to do that too, man.
Ah, great. So what's next for you? Are you gonna still are you gonna take a little break, or are you going? I think the next competitive scene is gonna be. I'm not sure if there's gonna be any rock states, but what's the next big one?
Um, the next big one that I'm looking at is probably going to be King of New Orleans.
Oh,
Um,
on February.
I believe so. It's either January, February, somewhere
Yeah,
in there. Um, my good friend Aaron Morgan runs that one,
yeah.
and big fan of Silver Age as well. And I think the main event might be Silver Age there this year. And
Oh,
then after that is Champion Clicks. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break here, and depending on if we get state championships this year, I'll definitely play in those.
okay. Está comentando que si hay campeonatos estatales, o que definitivamente va a jugar en esos, pero que ahorita está enfocándose en Rey de Nueva Orleans, que se va a jugar en enero o febrero del año que entra. Es corrido por también mi buen amigo Aaron Morgan. Y parece ser que este año va a ser Silver en lugar de Modern, entonces habrá que ver cuáles son las noticias. Well, Joseph, huge congratulations, man. This was a flawless season for you. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story. And obviously, we'll be watching very, very closely when your figure finally drops, because I mean, the the last Animal Man is a great figure. So let's see you top that, man.
I'll try my best.
Let's see you top that. All right, man. So thank you very, very much for joining us. Thank you very much for being here. And yeah, there was a question. Give me a second. There was a question here that someone wanted me to. Here we go. All right, so this is from Asael Campos. What initially drew you to playing Ghost Rider? Post rotation, is there a new figure you're excited to focus on, perfecting a team around?
Um, I think what initially drew me to Ghost Rider is it's a completely users that just says he can always get his powers, and anyone adjacent to him can always use their powers. It's such a unique mechanic, and I think that it forces the opponent to play the game in a completely different way, where they have to address Ghost Rider in order to more effectively deal with their teammates. Power cancellation is just a thing in HeroClix, and there's no other ability like that one that gets around that. I think that a piece that I would look at for the future. I think something like John Michael's Worlds team, barely anything retired from his Worlds team, and there was just a lot of great figures on that team. Reverse Flash Prime with Animal Man is an amazing combo.
Oh yeah, it's an amazing
Zombie,
combo.
yeah, with the God Killer sword, she just gets through all rollouts, anything like that. And then the new X-Men set, that I'm a big Nightcrawler fan, and those new Nightcrawlers are going to
That new
be,
Nightcrawler is a piece to look forward to,
yeah, he's
definitely.
amazing. The Professor X in that set as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, Asael está comentando que Ghost Rider fue la figura que le gustó mucho por el trade que tiene, en donde te deja prácticamente hacer lo que quieras. El trade de que puedes hacer lo de los poderes. Ya saben cuál trade es. A mí ese trade no me gusta, pero bueno, eso soy yo. Y que está viendo que hay muchísima figura por la cual le gustaría. El equipo, por ejemplo, del segundo lugar de John Michael Di Julio, la mayoría del equipo no es Silver, se va a quedar todavía en moderno, entonces algo similar. O la otra figura, por ejemplo, puede ser el Nightcrawler, que el Nightcrawler Chase que va a salir ahorita en X-Men 97, o el Profesor Javier, que también es una muy buena figura. Entonces, está viendo cómo puede hacer un equipo. All right, so Eddie says, congratulations to world champion and hi from Mexico. And well, Joseph, this is it. Thank you very very much for this interview, and thank you very very much for being here and telling us all this. I hope I didn't overstep my my boundaries, but I think it was a very good interview. And congrats. We'll keep a lookout for you, man.
Thank you so much, brother, and thank you to everyone who asked questions. It was a pleasure.
Yep, it was a pleasure. All right, it was a pleasure, Joseph. Thank you very very much, and have a great evening.
You too, sir.
Bye. Bueno, hubo varias cosillas. Denme un segundito, por favor. Listo, entonces, señores, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Perdonen por la transmisión, no sé por qué se estaba cortando tanto. Ahorita Eddie me está comentando que me quedó padre el diseño del fondo de la transmisión. Gracias, Eddie. Creo que es la primera vez que entrevista a alguien a distancia. No es la primera vez, pero, o sea, estamos trabajando en ello. Y también está padrísimo. No sé si solo a mí, pero el único detalle es que se traba mucho. Sí, ya sé, perdón por lo de la traba, no sé qué pasó, no sé si fue el internet, no sé si es la lluvia que está ahorita, estaba viendo que se estaba trabando mucho, entonces una disculpa a todos por tanto traba. De los premios, Eddie, ya publiqué algo en Gamers, publicamos algo a las 2 de la tarde, Rulas es el que estaba encargado de los premios, ya publicó algo de información y en la tarde va a haber un poco más de información en cuanto al evento. Entonces, pues obviamente, a ver si de casualidad, ok. Entonces, una disculpa otra vez, créanme que no es algo que me hubiera encantado, no sé por qué se trabó y pues, ¿qué les parece si la semana que entra hacemos un unboxing? Para rematar esta entrevista tan padre. Muy buena onda el señor Joseph, creo yo. Tuvo una experiencia muy padre en el Mundial y obviamente pues vamos a ver qué tal, si se va por Silver Surfer o se va por el Doctor Doom o se va por alguna otra figura de las que nos platicó, ¿no? Entonces fue, perdón obviamente por los errores de traducción también, pero pues ni modo, es la primera vez que hago esto solo, ¿no? Es la primera vez que hago esto solo. ¿Qué tal, Rincón? ¿Va a valer más la pena X-Men que Linternas? Yo no creo, personal creo que Linternas va a valer mucho más que que X-Men 97. Gato, no tengo idea qué pasó porque yo de repente veía aquí reconnecting. En YouTube esto no me ha pasado. No, o sea, quién sabe por qué ahorita, por ejemplo, está otra vez pasando. O sea, no sé por qué se está yendo. No sé si es el internet. No sé qué sea. La verdad, ahora sí que, a ver. Sí, no, el internet está bien. O sea, igual y fue la plataforma, igual y fue YouTube, igual y fue Facebook. Y me arrepiento de no grabar me arrepiento de no haber grabado la conversación. Debí haber, yo creo que debe haber grabado esta entrevista para poderla poner bien. Pero pues ya, ni modo. Para la siguiente entrevista voy a grabarla en caso de que vuelva a suceder esto, entonces poder hacer esto mucho más rápido. Sí, Eddie, a mí también me sorprendió mucho la devoción. La semana que entra hacemos un par de unboxings. Nos mandó esto WizKids. Spider-Man 400 y la semana que entra para hacer los unboxings de Spider-Man y de los Guardianes de la Galaxia, porque he oído muy buenas cosas de eso. De hecho, creo que Spider-Man, el Miles Morales llegó a top 4. Pero bueno, ¿qué más podemos hablar? Pues yo creo que ya. ¿Qué más podemos hablar? Pues yo creo que ya. Rulas me pidió, me hubiera encantado poderlo, ¿cómo se llama? poderlo grabar para por lo menos tener, y ya si veo que está demasiado incompleto ahí, pues poderlo subir. Pero eso ya es un error que lo voy a tener que checar yo luego. Entonces, les agradecemos su apoyo al evento. Bueno, lean el post de Rulas, ahí está. Cualquier pregunta que tengan en cuanto a la premiación, pueden mandarle un mensaje directo a Rulas para preguntar, oye, ¿qué onda con mis premios? Y pues ya él les va a poder contestar todas sus preguntas, porque pues él era el encargado, digo, o sea, todos nos hacemos responsables de esto, pero él era el encargado de traer las cosas para acá. No se pudo, entonces estamos trabajando para que ya lleguen lo más rápido posible, ¿vale? Entonces, bueno, señores, pues sin más que decir y sin más que hacer, les mando un abrazo a todos. Muchísimas gracias por gracias a Joseph otra vez por la entrevista. Y sigan tirando esos dados y doble 6 para todos. Cuídense mucho. Bye bye.